Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekend Self-Care Challenge. My name is Stephanie Burton and this is Project Glow, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about what is lurking in my tea. Now, I don't mean bugs or insects or anything like that, but we all drink a lot of tea. I know I drink a lot of herbal tea, but especially in the UK, there is a very high amount of tea consumption. And although I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking tea at all, because there are a lot of amazing health benefits to it, I do want you to become a little bit aware because, as we've worked in this work a lot more, both on an internal level and an external level, awareness is absolutely key. And asking questions, not just assuming that what you get is what you see, is absolutely paramount when it comes to relationships, self-love, self-care, your thoughts, and a whole host of other things that have a really huge effect on your body. So today the topic is what on earth is lurking in my tea? And I don't know if you know a little bit about it already, but actually there is a lot of amazing health benefits to tea, and then there's a lot of amazing downsides to tea. You know I was going to say that in any case, because remember, the most universal rule is always that there's light and there's dark. So today I'm going to highlight and focus a little bit about perhaps the things that you don't know are in your tea already. So when we think of tea, it is the lovely little loosey leaves that we put in hot water and then consume either in the morning or when we feel like a bit of a cuppa. The problem is mostly how that tea is delivered to you. So I'm going to speak a little later about how it's grown and the soil aspect of it. But right now I want to highlight to you all the little nasties that come with your absolutely lovely healthy cup of tea. So the first thing, I feel like I've done some kind of a school project. All right, so the first thing that we need to, I need to make sure that we are completely in a place where you can see all of this. Can you read it? Horizontal flip. There we go. Now you can see me. All right, so ordinary tea bag. I'm sure you've seen them a million times, touched them a million times. All right, so this is your ordinary tea bag. The very old style types will have a little staple there and then, this little piece of paper and a string telling you exactly what it is. All right. The problem with the way that tea is delivered today is actually a number of things. You can see this bag. You'll see that when you open all of your tea bags, that the color of the paper that the tea bag is wrapped in is actually all sorts of different colors. If it's a normal white tea bag, then the number one problem that you have is that the paper has been bleached. And of course that doesn't matter, paper that's been bleached that you write on, but once you pour hot water over it, that then actually means that those molecules of that chemical that has been used to bleach the paper, you get to drink it. The big problem here is something called epichlorohydrin, and that is actually part of the resin that is used to glue the bag together. I don't know if you can see, some of them are stapled, so some of them are kind of like with a crinkle machine stuck together, but a lot of the paper is glued together. So glue is a problem. Epichlorohydrin is a problem. So it's all about the bag and how it's being constructed, that really once you pour hot water in it, you are drinking in it. Of course, then if you've got an old style type of tea bag, there is a metal tag at the top. So, then once you've poured hot water onto that, that then gets put into your lovely, lovely tea as well. So the big four in sort of the old style tea bags are bleach, epichlorohydrin, metal because of the metal tag, and the glue to stick it together. And all in all, the big problem with all of these, not just individually, is that they have been proven to contribute to cancer causing, immune disrupting, which is also then involved in cancer causing. And the big problem as well is with infertility, because all of these things actually disrupt your hormone balance that can then lead to infertility, thyroid problems, adrenal problems, and mainly just a whole host of toxicity. And toxicity, as we know, is a part of then causing inflammation, and from there on, inflammation can cause cancer and all sorts of other disruptions and imbalances that then get expressed in your unique, your unique DNA way. All right, so these are the old style tea bags. Then what we have is you've probably also seen these new ones. I'm going to show it to you because it's a bit far away. These kind of prisms. And the great thing about these prisms is that the tea gets moved around a lot more, because actually the hot water gets to touch a lot more of the leaves. But the real problem is if they're cheap and cheaply made, then this will actually be made out of PVC, nylon, and basically a derivative of plastic. So a lot of these, if you haven't specifically looked at, whether the company that you buy tea from really takes the health of the tea bag seriously, a lot of these will be made out of plastic, PVC, nylon, all these types of things. The big problem with PVC and nylon, but do look, because some of the companies make it out of a type of resin, a type of tree bark. So there are healthy alternatives, absolutely. I know there's a great company in the UK called Tea Pigs. They are more expensive, but you get none of the nasties. So for this particular one, the ones that are made with PVC and plastic, and I'm sure you know a lot about this, especially if you're a mom, is the big problem is something called bisphenol A, BPA. So there used to be a lot of stuff in the media about baby toys and baby bottles and sippy cups, that they are made from a more stable plastic that doesn't leach the BPA into the water. Also, you've heard me talk a lot about when you buy water and you drink out of water bottles, please make sure they're glass, or put them into stainless steel containers rather than just having them in those plastic bottles. And oh my goodness, if you live in a hot country, please do not leave your plastic bottles in the heat in the car. That stuff will go straight into your water. Then this amazing word, phthalates. Phthalates, it's a crazy word to pronounce. Every nutritionist and naturopath in the country and in the world will know this little word, because it's a huge problem in every part of modern day living, really, because phthalates are a type of plastic softeners. They've been linked to infertility, birth defects, asthma, cancer of every description. And the big problem is that they're absolutely everywhere, that they're in our cosmetics, that they're in our cleaning, in our cleaning materials that we use in the house. They are absolutely everywhere. Again, hormone disruptors cause inflammation. Inflammation then causes all sorts of other diseases. And the big problem as well, it's a detox disruptor. So it actually completely and utterly halts your ability to detox. So if you're like me, I spend a lot of time and energy and money, juicing and eating really well and only buying organic food. But then if you drink 4, 5, 6 cups of tea a day, you're basically just pouring a phenomenal amount of toxins into your body. But that's not to say that you have to completely get rid of tea, because tea has an amazing array of health-giving benefits. I know there's a couple of them here. I just chucked this together. They neutralize the harmful effects from the fats and the oils. So these are the bad fats that oxidize really quickly, that we eat in, when we go to restaurants and when we get takeaway food or ready meals. They inhibit viruses and bacteria. They improve digestion. They protect against oxidization. So oxidization is a funny thing, because oxidization is a thing that happens completely naturally. And that's actually the reason why we age, is because every time we, eat, breathe, move, there is oxidization. And that then, nibbles at the telomeres and of your DNA. And then that has a knock-on effect to your aging. But tea can have an amazing counterbalancing effect to this oxidization, especially the green teas, which are even more powerful than grapes and blueberries chucked together. There's a beautiful one specifically there's a matcha tea. I don't know if you've heard of matcha. It's a powder, absolutely amazing against oxidization. It suppresses inflammation. You know by now that inflammation is the key when it comes to any sort of a disease. But, you know, inflammation can come from the bugs that you carry, the viruses and bacteria that you carry. It can come from the stuff you breathe in, the stuff you put on your skin, the stuff you eat. Inflammation is the core problem, but the way that inflammation happens in our bodies is a multitude of reasons, and we have to, you know, really manage and bring down those as much as we can. They improve alertness T, they reduce blood pressure, and they protect against heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. There are a million different reasons why tea is a great thing. And basically your challenge today and this weekend is to A, have a look at the type of tea that you have, chuck out all of the bad stuff, or at least, you know, minimize consumption of it. Go and have a look where you can buy tea that isn't bleached, that isn't made from PVC, and also really, really important, that is organic. So I'm not just jumping on the organic bandwagon, because some of the things are not important to be organic, but the problem with tea specifically is organic has something to do with both the way that it's grown and also the way that the soil is treated. If you have a soil that is badly managed and is full of metals and toxins, the tea will naturally absorb it. But you know, it's kind of a catch-22, because that's the thing that tea does in your body. That's why tea is so incredibly healthful for you, because it attracts the toxins and it then carries them out. The problem is it does exactly the same thing in the soil. So if you don't have very pristine growing conditions, you're going to have very toxic tea. Also, the big problem with non-organic tea is it means that it will be sprayed with pesticides, and you drink those pesticides. So go and have a look. Health food shops, I know the big supermarkets here all carry, you know, companies that really are very aware and mindful and conscious about how they deliver that tea to you. There's a number of different ways that I use my tea, and of course I've got loads of tea bags and I use them all day long. I have a little one of these cafeterias. You can put the loose leaf stuff in here. It makes it a nice big cup of them. The reason I like this one in particular is when I've got the whole leaf. So when I'm doing something with the whole leaf, then I use that, because you know, a lot of the tea that you have has been powdered, and so it doesn't really get to interact with the plant. So if I have big things like mint or something like that, I use one of these. But then there's a whole host of little gadgets that you can use for loose leaf tea. This is when it's not too fine, so stuff like chamomile. This is great for chamomile, and you just steep it in your bag. If you have very, very fine tea, like a rooibos tea, you can then actually put it in these kind of little contraptions, and they come in things that you can put in a cup, or actually also in things like that you can then submerge into a much bigger pot. And that is all I have for you today. This is our weekend self-care challenge. Become aware and mindful of what's lurking in your tea, and then slowly but surely put into place that you move towards non-bleached, non-PVC, non-plastic and organic tea. And then that way you get all the amazing health benefits that you really, you know, want to be getting out of drinking the herbal tea. I hope this was of benefit to you. Share it with anybody you know that is a health freak like me, always really concerned about their diet and nutrition, and is juicing and eating organic and then drinking normal tea. Yeah, you want them to be aware and alerted to actually there are things hidden in all sorts of places that we can do small steps that have a really, really big effect. Let me know what you think of this episode in the comments below. If you have any questions, do ask me. And if you have any suggestions on things that you want to know about, you know, what's in my water, what's in my food, what's in my shampoo, what's in my toothpaste, then send me a message and I'll make it part of the weekend self-care challenge. That's all for me for today. See you soon. Let me know what you think. Bye.